Alrighty, guys. I was asked to do a brief explanation of citations and a works cited page. First of all, let's start with citations. Citations are not nearly as complicated as you think. If you're using a source that has an author, you're simply going to put the citation at the end of the sentence. It goes in parentheses. That's where the word parenthetical comes from, parentheses. So your parenthetical citations go at the end of a sentence, and they're simply the author's last name and then the page number if you have one. If you are on a website, you probably are not going to have page numbers. The only reason you would have page numbers if you are using a book, which you're probably not doing anymore. In the 80s, we used these things called books, and we would find the page numbers in them and put that information in the works cited and in the parenthetical citations. But we don't really use those as much anymore for research papers. We tend to find things online. So if you are using a website, you're probably not going to use a page number. If you are using a journal, like a scholarly journal, like something from JSTOR or something from the Tennessee Electronic Library, you may actually have page numbers, in which case, yes, you would put the page number in the citation. But otherwise, the citation simply looks like it does on your screen, okay? And that might come at the end of the following sentence. Fruit bats are extremely important to the ecosystem. So I always use fruit bats when I'm talking about a topic and teaching research papers because it's pretty unusual for a student at the high school level in literature to do a paper on fruit bats. So it's just always what I go back to. So if you were to write a sentence from a source by John Brown, and you were to write fruit bats are extremely important to the ecosystem because you're sort of summarizing what he says in his article on page 23. Then you would put Brown 23 at the end. You'll notice that the period goes after, and you'll notice that there is no comma after the author's name. Very simple. If you did not have a page number, then it would look like this. System, and you would just have Brown. Okay, now let's say you got this from a website. Let's say you got it from National Geographic, and let's say the title of the article is The Lives of Fruit Bats. Okay, if this is the title of your article, let's say you didn't have an author, and if you see an author that says something like History Channel staff, that is not an author. An author has to actually be a person. So if you see History Channel staff, please do not put that as your author. Your author actually has to be a named person. So if you can't find an author, you just skip that part, okay? So if we were to get this information from an article called The Lives of Fruit Bats and we didn't have an author, then this is what our parenthetical citation would look like. See? You just put the information that you have as your article title in parentheses, and it also stays in quotation marks. And I know that looks funny, but that's how it goes. If you have a page number, you can still add that page number in there. If the page was page 23, then you can put that number at the end. This is perfectly acceptable, the way this is done. So this was just a little bit of information about citations. You should use a citation after any information that you use from a source, whether you've paraphrased it or whether you've quoted it. But this is what it looks like if you have an author and a page number. This is what it looks like if you just have an author. This is what it looks like if you have no author, but you have the title of the article. And then this is what it looks like if you have the title of the article and the page number. Okay, so hopefully that helped you out. And I will do another video at another time on the works cited page. Have a great day.